Welcome to the Color of Influence podcast, where you will hear stories from amazing people of color from around the world, from social media, and right here in our communities. Their stories will inspire you, encourage you, and motivate you. I am your host, Aisha Morgan, and let's meet today's guest. I'm so excited for you guys to hear today's guest. Marissa is the founder of Target While Black, a page that I discovered last year during Black History Month on Instagram. And she posted about different items that Target had promoting Black History Month. And now she promotes and posts about Black owned, Black founded, and Black representation items that are all within Target. So you would be surprised at how many items Target has that are Black owned, but Marissa has done the research to find out. So without further ado, let's meet today's guest, Marissa of Target While Black. All right, so we are here today with a very special guest. Last year, I started following a page called Target While Black during Black History Month, and as you can see, I have on a Target sweatshirt from last year, and I have spent so much money because of Marissa and Target While Black posting everything, and I go and I buy everything. So Marissa, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to get right into our conversation.
Sure. So I started Target While Black in November of 2020. It was something for me to do. We were locked down during that period of time.
Yes.
And I was going nuts. I had done every Lego set I could possibly find at Target. And I was like, I just need to do something. And around that time too, they started, doing Black Santa and all that stuff. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, well, all this stuff is really neat. And just as like a background to like who I am, I didn't do anything tech related at all before.
Okay.
I was a teacher when I first got out of college.
Okay.
I was a middle school teacher, and then I left and I went to higher education. So I was working at the College of Nursing here in Tampa. And then I stopped doing that. And then I kind of got into the tech space a little bit, but not really. I was selling ed tech software.
Yeah.
But nothing like this at all. This was just, like, okay, this is something that I feel like I could do, and I feel like I could be good at it. And I'm just going to jump into it and see what happens.
Yeah.
It worked out.
So what made you just start posting the things that you were finding there?
So initially it started with Black Santa. I was really excited to see Black Santa. My mom is mixed and my dad is Black. So my grandmother, who was mostly in my life, was a white Hispanic lady from Spain. And she would go out of her way to make me things. So my first doll that I had was a brown doll that she sewed for me.
Okay.
In anything that was in my house, like Santa, if she didn't want Santa to be white Santa, she wanted Santa to be brown Santa. Yeah. So she would color the Santa. Okay. And because of that, when I went into Target that particular year, I know they have done it before, but nothing to that scale.
Yeah.
November 2020, there was Black Santa everywhere. Mm-hmm. There was ornaments. There was Mrs. Claus. There was all kinds of things. And I was really excited about it. So, and I did follow a lot of the other Target pages.
Okay.
But I didn't see them posting any of that stuff. I was like, well, do you know there's Black Santa on this wrapping paper? Because there's Black Santa on this wrapping paper. So I just started kind of posting that way. And then it clicked with me fairly quickly that when I go into Target period, I'm going in there looking for different things than most of the other Target pages were posting.
Yeah.
Whether that be hair care products or if I want a lippy or something like that, I just go in there with a whole different set of this makes me happy. So that's why I started just posting things.
Okay. So when you first started, did you feel like it was going to grow this fast? Because I feel like when I started following you, it would be like every once in a while. And then like you were posting like multiple times a day. So how did that even come about?
Yeah. So I really didn't think it was going to be this big at all. I don't know what I thought was going to happen. I kind of just wanted an outlet. I have other Instagram pages that I don't think anybody knows that are me. um, that I would just randomly post to sometimes just because I was doing so many different things. So I really like to travel. So I have a food page of just food that I've have from all over the United States. And I have a crafting page and I post all the things that I craft on there. So it was really just it was another page where I was sharing something that I liked, but I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. Now February, when you started following me, February of last year, was when it kind of ramped up a little bit because, like I said before, the other target pages weren't really posting a lot of the, the Black things. So people started following me a lot more during that period of time. I was posting all the things I was finding and I was kind of giving history behind things. But the turning point was actually making a reel with the toilet paper.
Oh, okay.
And that took me from, man, when you started following me, what was there, like maybe 5,000 people there?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That post alone, there was 10,000 more people there that week.
Wow.
Of posting that. And then I said, oh, okay.
That's crazy.
I got what you guys are looking for. Okay, I can do this. And then I started posting a different kind of content because mostly before that, it was just pictures.
Yeah.
Which really don't resonate with people as much, especially on Instagram. Like just the pictures. They're kind of like, okay, whatever. They keep scrolling because if it's not interesting to them, they're not going to stop. And that's when things start taking off. Because before that, I was going to quit. I think April or May. I think it was May.
Yeah.
I told Kevin, I said, Kevin, I can't keep doing this. It's so much work. So much captions and interacting and everything. And I'm not really getting paid for it. I'm kind of overwhelming myself because I was working and I have 2 kids. It's like, I don't know if I can do this. He was just like, just keep doing your thing. You're really good at this. Just keep doing it. It's going to be fine. And he was right.
So when did brands start to reach out to you, or have brands reached out to you?
They have. So the first brand to reach out to me was actually Be Rooted. Okay. Was Jasmine. She was the first brand that I worked with. And she was like, you could charge people to do this. Yeah. She's like, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you to do this. And I didn't have anywhere near what I had now or anything. And she paid me. And at that point it was, she paid me $750 for the post.
Okay.
Which I was like, oh snap. Okay. I'm going to do this. All right. I'm going to kill this. And we worked together a few times after that. But outside of her, at first, it wasn't really like brands were reaching out to me. People were clicking my links. And while that doesn't get me a heck of a lot of money, it was enough for me to see that value there and say, okay, well, I can keep posting this and kind of just doing what we all like, and monetize that in a way. But November, December of last year is when it started being like brands started reaching out to me continuously. Yeah. And it was the Honey Pot that reached out to me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they had, they're a really big brand. So they had a lot more money to offer. And I was still only at like 30 or something thousand. We're at 65 now. So it's still going. I'm still blowing my mind every second. But at that point they were like, okay, we'll pay you $1,000 for one post. I said, okay. And, between me and you and everybody else that's listening to this, I didn't really like my job that much. So I started thinking to myself, okay, if I could put more effort into this and start reaching out to brands to say, hey, let me advertise for you, maybe I can quit my job.
Yeah.
And after that Honey Pot post, people start coming into me like wildfire because on TikTok, that post went like mega viral. There was a lot of people that were interacting with that. And I think brands started to see that and started coming to me more.
Yeah. Now you said that, you had people click on your link, like explain what that means.
Yeah. So there's a third party platform. It's called Like to Know It.
Okay.
And you can basically link anything to that platform. You just have to push a picture, put a picture up, and then you can link out to Amazon or Barnes and Noble, Walmart, Target, wherever. And it'll give you a unique link to you.
Okay.
And if you post that unique link into your stories and someone clicks it to buy something, it first takes them to LTK, which is Like to Know It. And then once they click the picture again, it takes them out to Target. And then whatever they buy while they're out there, even something that wasn't on my link at all, whatever they put in their cart and click purchase, I get a percentage of that. For Target, it's really low. It can be anywhere from like 1% to 6%. But let's say some of the girlies that are doing brands like, I don't know, maybe you're doing Gucci. Sometimes it can be like a 13% commission.
Wow.
On those products.
Okay.
Yeah.
And see, like, I didn't know that you get a percentage of the whole cart, because I would just buy something, whatever was linked there, and then I would just go buy whatever else I was.
Whatever else.
Yeah. So now I know. I'm like, oh, well, let me just do everything and then check out.
Yeah, whatever you put in your cart, because in their eyes, I drove you to Target. So
that's true. Yeah.
Whatever's in your cart. Yeah.
Cool. So where do you live? Do you live on the East Coast, West Coast? Where are you?
I'm in the East Coast. So I live in Florida, in Tampa, Florida.
Okay. So how is it that you feel you are able to still reach other people, even though you're not, like, you're in one location?
Right. Yeah. So part of that, I'm not going to lie, I feel like this is the Black girl privilege a little bit. I'm the Black Target page. So people say that, you know, there's a Black girl doing things for Black owned businesses.
Yeah.
And she's doing Target, and everybody loves Target. It drives into my page. And then they share the unique things that they have at their Targets with me. So, for example, there's a beer in Target in California. I would have had no idea, because I don't live in California. I would have no idea unless someone shared that information with me. But because of that, I'm able to share unique brands. Laundry Wine is only in Dallas.
Right.
Crown and Hops is only in California. So I get to tie all these people in, because they start realizing, oh, if I share this with Marissa, she can share it with everyone. And then the brands see that, and the brands want to be in more places. Right. So it kind of allows me to have this giant network of Black women who are like, listen, we're gonna do this together. Yeah. We're gonna figure it out.
So has Target reached out to you?
No, they have not.
Really?
I really wish they would.
That's crazy.
It is a little crazy. I keep trying to make excuses for them, but at this point, I'm kind of like, what are you doing? I don't know what you're doing. So the Target Accelerator team has reached out to me, which is, honestly, they see brands come to me, like Black brands that aren't in Target yet. They're like, hey, Marissa, will you try this? And I almost always say yes. So I have a tap into what the Black community wants to see at Target. Right. So in that way, them reaching out to me, that's not about me. That's about them. They know that I have the plug. So they want to know, you know, who they can get their hands on, which I'm more than happy to help. There's so many brands right now that should have been in Target years ago, that now have a lane to get into Target. And I cannot wait to see them there. There's a lot of things coming this year that you guys are going to be really excited about. But Target itself.
So do you know about these brands that are coming because of the accelerator program or because of the businesses themselves?
The businesses themselves, they tell me, they go, hey, Marissa, I want to be in Target. And then I'll put them in touch with whoever I feel like could help them the most. Wow. And then sometimes they come back to me and like, hey, like, don't say anything, but this day and time, we're going to be at Target. Yeah. And I'm like, yes. Okay. Well, just let me know when you get there, girl. I'm going to share.
That's crazy that, you know, it would make sense to me to almost add you to like the marketing team for Target, even if it was just in Tampa or in Florida or just the East Coast division or something.
I think so too. I think that a lot of the Black community wasn't shopping at Target because they felt like it was expensive. Yeah. or they felt like it was exclusionary.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, okay, wait a minute. It's neither of those things. I can go there. I can shop. I can buy Black owned things.
Yeah.
I can feel welcome. I can do all of those things. And I really feel like I changed that narrative. So I'm just like, Target, what's happening?
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like so my daughter's almost 2. I was not a Target shopper before she was born. And then people gave me Target gift cards. So I would go to the baby section and then be done. Like I would leave. So I wasn't like roaming around Target trying to find different things, or you know how now I just like walk around and I'm looking in different sections. I would just go to the baby section and leave. And then when the lip bar went in there, I would go to the cosmetics section, but it was never in my Targets. So I was like, oh, let me just see if it's here now. And I ended up like ordering stuff online because it was taking forever to get in my Target. And then when you were posting like all the different things, I'm like, oh, Target has a lot of stuff in it that, you know, kind of tie into like the Black culture. And like, even if it wasn't Black owned, there were still things in there. So then I started like becoming a Target shopper because I was not into Target. I didn't like their clothes. Like I didn't like
Little House on the Prairie clothes. What they look like.
So I would never go in there. And like, I felt like their shoes were expensive for what it was. And so I was not a Target shopper. And then when you were posting like the brands like that Partake, I had no idea that that was Black owned. I would see it like in the front of the store by the cash register all the time. Never knew it was a Black owned company. So I'm like, oh my God, I see them all the time.
Right.
So it is like you have been very influential to me. Like I think even people who don't follow you, like people repost your post. So people don't have to follow you to know where that information came from.
Right.
So
and two, now even outside of Target, I feel like people, even if they're at Publix, they're like, okay, wait a minute. Every box store has Black owned things.
Yeah.
So let me try to find, things in my store, find it at Publix, find it at Kroger's. So even outside of just Target, I think a light switch has went off for a lot of people that I don't even have to do this just in Target. I can go anywhere and find Black owned products.
Yeah. Because when you like during Christmas, I know a lot of people would send you things from different stores that had like sections and different things in it. Because I found stuff at Hobby Lobby, I found stuff at Home Goods. So it was like a variety of different places that I was finding things, stores that I don't really shop in per se.
Yeah.
That I would just go in and be like, oh, okay, they do have, more inclusive things.
Right.
And, just the run of the mill, like the Nutcracker is what you would see, and that would be it.
Right. Yeah, no. And that's really fun for me too, because, for example, I go to Home Goods all the time, but I wouldn't necessarily go to like Marshall's.
Yeah.
I don't know why, I just like never really like, whatever. But people kept sending me that some of the things I was posting that was at Target was also at Marshall's. And I was like, oh, okay, really? So I went in there one day. They had planners, they had calendars, they had a coffee mug. There's a coffee mug and actually has a Black girl on it. And I was super excited to find it because it says I'm the boss, but it's in Spanish with a Black girl on it.
Oh.
I lost it. I said, oh, really? Yeah. Okay. I'll be back.
Right. But I don't think that like companies understand that as far as like value, because you work directly with the companies. I feel like they feel as though they don't really need to contact you because you're bringing them the companies, which is crazy.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think one of the things though, that if I was to talk to Target and was gonna like, tell them like, why would you need to come to me? Because we're watching you.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching you right now. And I'm not tagging them in all of my posts. I don't do that anymore, but my followers do.
No, you're right.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. So they're like, okay, you said you were doing all of these things, but I didn't know about any of this until Marissa posted it. Mm-hmm. So now I want to see what you're doing. So they're watching.
Yeah. And I mean, even on their website, like they have the little Black owned section. But I feel like even that is like so congested with things that like, if you don't know what you're looking for, and you have to like go through every single category to see what it is, as opposed to just them having it in the main section and putting, the symbol there and that be it. Like you don't really need a separate section on the website that's like Black owned products.
Yeah. And it's confusing too, because I'll share Black owned or Black founded things, but they lump them together.
Yeah.
So, and there's some people who only want to buy Black owned, and there's some people who don't mind buying Black founded. There's some people who don't mind buying things that are just representative of them. But if you don't make the differentiation, it just becomes confusing. And then people think that, for instance, Dark and Lovely is Black owned because they have a sticker on it. And it's not like an outright deception, but for someone who wants to buy Black owned, it would feel that way if they didn't know any better.
Yeah, I agree. And, even when you go in the store, like I kind of feel like that should also be something that they kind of focus on, in the store when you're like checking things out and like on their labels, it should have it on there, because not everybody's on the internet. Sometimes you're just walking by and you don't necessarily want something. You're just kind of looking. It would be nice to visually see like, oh, that's Black owned product or something, while you're in the store, and they don't do that either.
Yeah, they did it for Black History Month, and I felt like what they did was good. I was like, well, we don't have to take this down. We could keep it here. Yeah. We keep it here all year. Like it's not bothering anybody. But even in my store in particular, I had a black owned section in toys. But in my toy section, there was also Barbies there. And, I know Barbie's not Black owned, but someone may be like, oh, this particular Barbie is Black owned. Like I felt like it was a little irresponsible to mix some of the toys on that section just because they were brown Barbies.
And see, like our Target, so I'm in Texas and like the Houston area, and our Target, they don't separate any of the toys. So during Black History Month and during Christmas, they had things separated. So there were, books that had like Black characters in it. And then there were the Harper dolls there and some other things that were all together. But then when you went to the regular toy section, there were like Black Barbies, there were Black dolls, because I even looked stuff up because I'm like, wait, is this the one that was on the website?
Yeah.
That was Black owned or not? And it turned out to not be.
Right.
So it would be nice. Like these are the conversations that I don't think they think about, because they feel like, oh, we have a section on the website. Yeah. Like you can look it up on the website, but it would be better to have like a perspective from somebody to say, you really need to, you don't necessarily have to separate the dolls, or you don't have to separate the food, but just continue to put the label that you had during Black History Month there all the time.
Yep.
So,
no, I definitely agree with that. There is a group of people though, or I'll say a group of people, because it's not specifically a Black thing to think that. But I have had a little bit of a tussle with some people telling me like, stop saying that things are Black owned, because then, racists won't buy that. And I'm like, okay, well, they weren't going to buy it anyway then. Yeah. Like
exactly.
It has nothing to do with anybody except them, but I'm going to buy it. And sometimes thinking about those people who said that, I go buy too, just to be annoying, I can't worry about things like that. So I think there definitely could be more things done. They're doing a good job as far as putting people in the places.
Yeah.
So now their diversity and inclusion officer is Black. They have a lot of Black buyers. So they're putting the people in the places. I think now it's just having everybody click together.
Yeah.
To make it happen.
Yeah. Now I remember that you started a Facebook page for your followers. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So the Facebook page is an extension of TikTok and Instagram, but I really started it because there would be people whose stores would not have something at all. And then it would also be sold out online.
Yeah.
So then they couldn't get it at all. And for some people, that's really frustrating. Like, I want the dang doll. So, and they would say, hey, Marissa, if you find this doll, can you please get it for me? I'll give you the money and for shipping and everything. And I still do it sometimes if people ask me, but it was just so much work to add another piece on top of it. So I just thought maybe I can take myself out of it and have my followers help each other to get what they need.
Yeah. And I like that idea because initially when you posted the Morgan Harper pictures, I Googled her and, got her backstory and how she's on the spectrum and she's been a writer and, an artist for years. So I found one of her pictures. And then out of nowhere, like someone messaged me and was like, oh, you're in the Houston area. You know that the Target on whatever has them on clearance. And so I bought like 5 pictures. And as you can see, like 2 of them are back there. Yeah, I have that one too. They're all in my bathroom. Like I bought every single one because my Target that was closest to me, there's like 3 that are close to me. Did not have them and if they did, it was like the same ones.
Yeah.
So like just that person messaging me from, I think you reposted my story and they were like, oh, this Target has them. And I like hightailed it to Target. I bought every single picture. Yeah. So that it is beneficial because a lot of times when I don't see stuff like the clothes from Black History Month.
Yeah.
My Target did not have half of that stuff. Like I'm talking about half of it. And so when I would go online, it would be sold out.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, come on. Like February is not even halfway over. How can you be sold out of all these shirts?
Right.
So, but it was like people would, be like, oh, they have it at, this Target or whatever. So I'm like, thank goodness.
There was a shirt that said, it's the blank for me. I never saw that shirt. I was upset. I felt personally attacked. I've never seen this shirt before.
Yeah.
And I had to ask someone, hey, will you see another one? Please send that to me.
Yeah. It is. It's interesting. There's a Target that is like near my job. And I'll stop there every once in a while and get, stuff for my daughter. But their Black History section, every other Target, when you walk in, either on one of the entrances is the section. But this one was like down the aisle by like the home department. So I went in and I was like, do you guys not have like the Black History display? And the guy's like, yeah, I think it's somewhere back there. I'm like, back there?
Are there no Black people here?
That's what I was thinking in my head. And when I went, like, it was such a small selection. I mean, they really didn't have anything. They had a bunch of books and then they had a couple of shirts. The kids, like baby kids section of it they had a lot. And then a lot of like extra large. And I don't know, like maybe it's because we've just always been that group that is just targeted, but I'm like, not all Black women are extra large. Like I can't fit this. You have a small, a medium, no large, and like 5 extra large. And I noticed the display just got here not that long ago.
Yeah, I feel like that's a struggle for me too. I tell you guys all the time in my stories, I don't have any boobs. Like I need a small.
Yeah. And I took it personally because I was like, you already have it in the back of the store. And then the majority of your clothes are extra large. So what are you saying about your Black customers? Like,
What is this?
yeah, like I kind of took it in a way where I was like, I don't know. I took it personal because
and I took that personally.
I did because it was like the beginning of Black history. So I know what the other sizes were not sold out.
Yeah, but contrary to that, I have a Target that's in, for lack of a better word, the whitest neighborhood you can possibly imagine. Yeah. They had every single thing. Every single thing. I appreciated it because in my head, I was like, oh, okay, well, I know I can come here and find whatever I'm looking for, except that one shirt. But whatever I'm looking for, they have everything. But that was perplexing to me too. It wasn't a bad thing because in previous years, there had only been certain Targets that had the Black History Month collection. And that was aggravating because I was like, so are you saying that there's only Black people in certain areas? Because that's not true. But I do think that if you are going to put in every Target, you should at least put the smaller amounts in Targets like that one, where I think I may have seen one other Black person at that Target in existence ever. So that would make more sense.
I agree.
And they're still learning. They're doing better than Bath and Body Works. So I'm gonna be quiet.
Oh my goodness, that was horrendous. And it went viral because everybody was like, really, with the kente cloth, like with these same scents.
It was so bad. It was so bad. I actually went to all the department stores that had Black History Month collections, and I recorded myself like talking about each section, and then time got away from me, so I didn't end up posting it. I still might post it just for people because I was surprised at JCPenney's. They did a really good job. Not only did they have people from inside their design team, Black people, make the shirts in there, but they named all of them. They put them on their website, and then they gave 100% of the proceeds to a Black foundation. I was impressed.
Yeah.
I said, this is good.
Here's the thing. I feel like I only knew about Target's Black History Month stuff because of you. I didn't hear about any other stores having a Black History display. The only reason why I knew about Bath and Body Works is because it was so terrible. But there wasn't promotion for other stores. Like I definitely would have just gone into different stores just to check. I'm not a big shopper, so I don't just like go to the store all the time.
Right.
But I go for specific reasons because I think you had mentioned something about Kohl's, and I went in there. And saw some stuff in there. But like it would be good, like pay for an ad on Instagram and on Facebook to like promote that so people know what you're doing. It doesn't need to be a secret. Like that would be a reason for it to get people into your store who may not normally shop at JCPenney.
Yes. And what Target did for advertisement, because a lot of people were like, so Target isn't really putting this on their page. Have you noticed they don't have that many posts about Black History Month on their page? And what they did was they actually paid celebrities and paid partnerships to wear the Black History Month stuff. So Tabitha Brown, she had Black History Month on from Target, and that was her paid partnership. And I thought that was a really cool, creative way to kind of get the message out there that Target has this Black History Month stuff. Yeah. So I'm wondering if the other, Old Navy, all that will
follow
suit to what they're doing. Because they kind of followed a little bit by picking Black creators outside of the store to do things into their stores. But people have asked me, they're like, so are you going to do a Old Navy well black? Are we gonna get this well black or that well black? And I'm like, y'all, I barely have time to Target well black.
But would be your ultimate goal? Like, would you rather stay with Target, or do you want to do just a shopping while black page where, brands from all different stores are on your page?
Yeah. So I think that would be really cool to eventually get to that place to doing all the stores. I think maybe it's a long-term goal, but maybe it's a short-term goal. I'm not sure. I would like for Target to pay me and I don't have to charge brands.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like have Target be the one paying me a good amount of money, right, but have them be paying me to advertise for all of their Black owned brands that are in the store. I think they do have commercials, but if we're being honest, most people are watching Netflix.
Right.
So they're not seeing those commercials. And then the channels that they have the Target commercials on are a little like, for me, and I know Black people are not a monolith, but I'm just saying, if you want to get like the most Black people, some of those commercials on some of those channels, I feel like you're missing who you're trying.
Yeah, your target audience is not watching this. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not watching that. And so it would be beneficial because then all the small brands, maybe I can know about the brands before they come in. Yeah. I can get everything in a row for certain months. Like they have a calendar of this brand's going to be out in March. This brand's going to be out in November. I could get all that stuff queued up and work that out with everyone.
Yeah.
And I just be like their whole like Instagram Black marketing department.
Which would be smart. I mean, your audience is already here. It's not like you have to create a new page and do other things. I mean, we're the reason why, Target is sold out of a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I have receipts. I have receipts. So during that whole time period when people were clicking my links, I have it, how many people clicked it. I have the total amount of revenue that I've made Target at all of that.
Wow.
So I've been keeping my receipts for when they come around.
Now, do you have to like pitch to them, or like how would you become a partner with them?
So I have done a lot of pitching. So my first step was to reach out to their partnership team, and that really didn't get me anywhere. But what I've been doing, which I would, every content creator, if you're a content creator and you want to reach out to brands, use LinkedIn. It's super easy to contact everyone on there. Yeah. You can see what they do, who they are. I've reached out to people like Barbie on there. I'm like, hey, Barbie, you're doing all these Black Barbies of all these Black influencer people. Like, what's happening? Let's do this. I've reached out to the Target celebrity influencer director.
Okay.
She actually wrote me back. I was very excited, and she follows me.
Good.
I said, no way.
So she followed you before you reached out to her.
Yes.
Wow.
She was like, no need to introduce yourself. I already know who you are. Like, well,
yeah,
that's really cool. And she did say, I hope to work with you in the future. And I know people can't really tell you much about what's happening. Yeah. So who knows? I may come on here with you again, and then it'll be a whole different conversation.
Yeah, let's hope so. But I know that like a lot of the brands that have partnered with them, like when you go, like you said, like when you go to the Target page, I don't know if they pay the brands like extra to promote it on their page that they're in Target. But I don't really see a lot of it on the Target page. And like one of the brands that I did, purchase was that JDow fitness thing. And like that was the first time I had ever heard of her. So I'm thinking that she like has this partnership with Target and that she just started her brand. And then when I started following her on Instagram, she was posting stuff and I'm like, wait, this is not in Target.
No.
And I like put that. She's like, oh no, I have my brand, but I have a specific items that are only in Target.
Right.
Like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'm thinking like you're a Target designer and that they're the only one, they're the only clients that you
Yeah.
have.
And they didn't really, I feel like they tried to convey what they were doing, but they didn't really put it out there like, hey, we're partnering with I'm just gonna be honest. They're not paying me. So I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say what I want to say when they do pay me. So that's something to know too. But they didn't really do a good job advertising what they were doing. They really didn't. They should have said, here are 5 creators that we're partnering with Target, and here's their backstory. Like they all should have their own commercial, or they should have all been talking on Target's page. I did lives with all of the creators.
I know,
but I didn't see them doing anything. No. I felt like they spent their money, but they spent their money not where it needed to be.
Yeah. And that's why I said, I don't know if they paid them like extra, like, hey, make sure you post X amount on your page. Because she would go to Target all the time and like, buy her stuff and take pictures in there, and you see her walking in, and
she basically had to do their own advertisement.
Yeah. And she had like her polls up, like, what's your favorite, thing that you guys saw at Target? So it would have been nice, because I had no idea that she had her own fitness line before, creating the items for Target.
Right. Yeah. So in a way it worked out a little bit, because you found someone new, like I think a lot of people found someone new. They're like, oh, I don't know who this is. But at the same time, they shouldn't have to do their own advertisement for their stuff that was in Target. Yeah. They shouldn't have had to do that. The Black-owned cotton, I don't understand why that wasn't everywhere.
I only knew that from you. And then when I went to their website, it was like off to the side, like you had to keep scrolling. And then it was like the picture, and then it kind of talked about it. But, I feel like it was one of those things where it was like your intentions are good, but your execution is poor.
Yeah.
And, the fact that I find things out from, secondhand from someone else,
right,
instead of you directly, is not good. Because even like the college kids contest, like I never saw that until you did it. And then I think I went to one of their pages and they had like a video, and I'm like, so why didn't Target put this video on their page? It was weird. I don't know.
I don't disagree. I think that they spent their money in a really weird, funky way. I don't know. I don't know, but if they were going to give us the platform, I was going to make sure we were going to sell them out.
Exactly. And that was my thing too. Like some of the stuff wasn't easy for me to find.
Right.
So, and then there was like a lot of stuff that I wanted. Like I wanted that creator necklace, and it was always sold out online. And then my Target never had it. So that was kind of annoying, but I'm glad that like stuff was sold out, because I hope next year they understand like there is a need for this. Like you need to request more products next year from whoever you partner with.
See, and that was the thing too. Every creator I talked to, they all use Target's manufacturing. So it's literally Target themselves that did not make enough.
Well, okay.
So
it wasn't even like they sent it to Target.
Right. Yeah. No, they came up with the designs and everything and did all of that through Target. So Target did all the manufacturing of the creators' ideas.
Yeah.
And put them out there. So they themselves did not make enough to last them. See, and then we get to this part of Target is known for being sold out of things before the season gets here, right? So, so they in general, they need to do better with that, because I don't like going into Target at Thanksgiving and not be able to find Thanksgiving things, because you needed to get it at not Christmas, but Halloween
or something. Yeah.
That's so annoying to me. I don't like doing any of that. And then finding Halloween stuff in July is just wild to me. So.
Right. And I can't wrap my brain around it fast enough. Like Christmas stuff, when we decided like, okay, let's get Christmas stuff, it was like sold out. So like we just got whatever ornaments were left. And then, we just pieced it together. It wasn't the tree that we wanted, but I was like, I don't have the time to go all over creation. I think we ended up going to Hobby Lobby, but
I was bullied into posting them early because I don't know if you remember, but I was saying, I don't want to post this. It's not even November yet. I refuse. And everybody was like, please post it because it's going to be gone. And I was like, okay, fine, I guess, but I'm not going to like it.
And they were not kidding because it was gone.
It was gone. Yeah.
A lot of that stuff was gone. Like I was looking for the ballerina. Oh my goodness. I saw it one time and I should have just bought it. And there was like a bunch of them. The next week I went back and they were gone. Like all of them were gone, not just the black one, like all of them were gone. All of them.
Yeah.
And it was sold out online. I'm like, oh God, like people, can we just have like an actual season where you shop and do everything during the season and not,
nope.
in the summertime. It's bad enough it's already hot out here all through Christmas. So now I got to buy Christmas stuff in July. But well, I feel like that was a lot of good information. And I'm claiming that Target is going to contact you and they are going to create some kind of a partnership. Because I do think that it's more efficient from them than, you reaching out to the brands. And then also, like, if brands reach out to you and they don't get in Target, like, do you feel like you shouldn't, like, or do you feel torn if somebody's like, well, I didn't get into Target, but I think I'm going to be in, JC Penney's or something?
I do. It's hard for me sometimes. So it's really hard because I just want to help. Yeah. I just want to help. So when they don't get to where they want to go, or even if they're not in Target and they're like, can you just share me your stories? I have a hard time saying no. Yeah. So.
But I'm sure everything will work out. I'm positive, actually.
It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I know it is. I really do think I'm going to do other stores. It'll probably be one page with a lot of different other stores versus like having a specific another page for certain stores, just because outside of Target, a lot of stores don't really have the volume of Black owned things that Target has.
Yeah.
Walmart does, but we know how I feel about that place. I'm not going there. I'm sorry. I got a nail in my flip-flop last time I was there. They have boxes in the aisles. It's just, I can't do it.
I know.
Target price matches. I just won't go.
Yeah. But I think that would be a really good idea. Just to create a separate page, and I don't know what you can call it, but
yeah, I don't know. I have to brainstorm. Like, what do I call this one? But and start having, and then there's already a lot of people here. So all you have to do is say like, hey, I made this other page. And there's all this Black owned stuff. There's Black owned stuff in Nordstrom's.
See, look at that. Like, if there's not stuff that's like celebrities that have it, or they like, because sometimes even when celebrities wear stuff, they don't tell you who it is or if that person's Black owned. Like, they may tag them. Yeah. But if you don't click on the tag, the link,
you have no idea.
That person, like, you have no idea. Like, the guy that makes those little small box purses.
Oh, Brandon Blackwood. Yeah, I got one of those.
I know. I just saw that on your page. Never would I have known that he was Black. Like, I don't. Yeah. When you see people with it, they don't say like, "Oh, this is a Black owned bag." Like, they just say like, "I have Brandon, whatever his name is." I'm not like a purse person, so I have no idea. But yeah, so it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Someone told me, they said, Good American is listed as Black owned at Nordstrom's. And I'm not okay with that because it's not Black owned. And I was like, well, It kind of is. So Good American is owned, half of it is owned by Khloe Kardashian, which everybody's like, oh, wait a minute. I don't want to, I'm not going to touch that.
Yeah.
But the actual like person behind that brand that's not the celebrity face is a Black woman. She's on Shark Tank.
Oh, okay.
So it's just little things like that
Yeah.
because I'm weird. And when I go in stores, I'm Googling everything. That's just the way my brain works. That I think people really like to know if you're just, willing to put the information out there. So I probably will eventually end up making another page.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you never know where it could go. I mean, you could start your own marketing company and, kind of contract with different stores.
Yeah.
I see
wild. That would be wild.
Big things.
That would be crazy. Yeah. You know what though?
But that would be like a good way to do it because then you're not tied to one place.
Yeah, I have this idea in my head, and if I can figure out how to execute it, it's going to be next level, but I got to figure out how to do it first. But it kind of ties into what you just said, that I got to get the people in my pocket.
Yeah.
And then we'll see but nothing is impossible though.
Exactly.
Is what I've learned. I didn't think that this was going to be a page. I was going to be like a big thing. I didn't think I was going to be able to, I was like, oh, you're going to make some extra money. I didn't think I was going to quit my job. I did that. And now I'm quitting my job and I'm bringing in more money than I was with my job.
Look at that. Yeah.
And so now I'm just like, well, I don't even set expectations for things I feel like I can do because I don't feel like there is an end to anybody's potential.
Right.
It's just pushing yourself. Every time you complete something, just push yourself to something else because who knows what anybody's able to accomplish.
Yeah. And in this day and age where there is no set job, like you can create your own jobs now.
Yeah.
Any way that you want, and sky is the limit. And I think that is why so many, people of color are striving, because now we're not going into an office and applying for jobs. Like we're creating jobs that did not exist.
Yeah. Yeah. And too, so my Kevin, he's a software engineer, and he was talking about his job and how most people hire, based on your personality. So I started thinking about that. Oftentimes, especially in his field, you would go into an interview and you would have nobody that looks like you.
Yeah.
Now, not to say that they couldn't like your personality, but are they going to connect with you in the same way as they would with someone else? And that's why it's so important to have people in all these different positions, because you need to have somebody that's going to be able to really connect with you.
Yeah.
On a deeper level, like, oh, I really like this guy. I can see myself working with him or doing these things. So when all these Black people are making their own companies and their own spaces and places, I'm scared of us in the next 10 years. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. No, you're right. Because, and I think that is a part of, why everybody has these diversity and inclusion departments all of a sudden, because they see where we're going, and they can't get there because they're not us.
Yeah.
So even if they try to do something similar, it's not going to resonate with us because you're not us.
Right. Exactly.
So now,
which is why Target just needs to hire me, because you can't
be exactly. Because, I'm telling you, like, we're too powerful. And when people try to do things and try to, replicate systems, if you don't have the face for the system does not work.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But thank you so much for taking the time out of your night to talk to me. This was a great conversation. Like I said, I definitely see big things in your future. You just have the drive and the personality that, you're just not going to be stopped. Like you are going to be an unstoppable force in whatever area you decide to go into, whether it be Target or whether it be your own company, I'm telling you, I see success and I can't wait to see where you go with everything.
Thank you so much. Let's get it. Let's make it happen.
So just FYI, I am going to air this on Thursday.
Okay.
So tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday and Saturday, I'll probably be tagging you in posts, just like leading up and then after 2 days after the episode.
Okay.
All
awesome.
Right?
I can't wait.
Awesome. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And that's a wrap on another amazing episode. I know you were just as inspired as I was after hearing today's guest. And to let us know how we're doing, leave us a review, like, and subscribe to the podcast. You can also follow us on all social media platforms, from Facebook to YouTube at The Color of Influence, and on Instagram, the_color_of_influence. And our website is still the same, theblackgirlblogger.com, where you can check out all of our episodes as well. And don't forget to share the podcast with someone you know and have them share it with someone that they know. Thank you all for listening. Until next time, peace out.